Hi, it's Mark Marmer from Signature Electric. So I am here with my friend Wilf Steimel. Wilf is a director and the president of the EV Society. And the other day we were on the phone and you happened to, I'm almost positive you mentioned to me that you had an F-150 Lightning. And I thought, I'm not sure that that's actually possible. And sure enough, you did get an F-150 Lightning. I'm thrilled that we're doing this together. And it was, could you please bring this over so we could do some filming? Because our audience would love to see this. So
and he bribed me with the coffee. That's what got me down here. It takes very little. Yeah. Here we are.
And here it is. Here's the F-150 Lightning. I think it was the first question I asked you. So how exactly did you get your hands on this thing? Because I've just not seen too many of these called in the wild.
Yeah, this was a year wait. It was the portal opened. I had everything ready to cut and paste and press enter and get my name at the top of the list, and here we are. So the charging market's a standard J1772 for level 1 and level 2 charging. So I can charge on household 120 volt or 240 volt. And one of the important things they did here is the onboard chargers that take this input from household current and charge it to the battery. The onboard chargers are capable of charging at 80 amps. So it's a fairly large battery. This is the extended range battery, which is 131 kilowatts, kilowatt hours rather. And I can charge it fairly quickly at home because they have these big household onboard chargers. So that's the first thing, but it is a standard. So right now I don't yet have Ford's own charger, but I'm using a generic charger that I used for my last electric vehicle, and that will charge this. GC Fast, so it is CCS, so those are the high voltage DC pins. That is the standard.
What's happening over here? Do you know what this is here?
Yeah, so when I'm charging, this gives me a quick glance of my state of charge.
Oh, okay.
And that also lets me pull the plug out, the plug locks in. Speak to your electrician, talk to them about the driving that you do, and if you do 200 kilometers of driving a day, a 20 amp charger, not 100 amps, will fill that 200 back up by the next morning. So even though you bought maybe a large charger, and that includes the Ford charger, you can dial it back.
And I will tell you the good news from a technical point of view about the Ford charger. The Ford charger is turned down by removing the front cover and turning a small dial inside the charger. For the Electrical Safety Authority here in Ontario, that is an acceptable way to turn down a charger and to provide a smaller feed to it. If it's done through software, like the Tesla charger is done, that's not acceptable. If they feel that the owner can turn it up and down, then they would like you to wire it to the maximum of the charger.
Even if you take the Ford charger and you dial its charge speed down, it is a bi-directional charger. So it's very unique amongst chargers that it can pull power out of the vehicle and power your house. Ford says for 3 days, that's average loads in the house. They say if you're conservative, you can stretch that to 10 days.
Here we don't have a ton of power outages, but if you're in some of the southern states and outages are a norm, and we see a lot of these vehicles down there, so it's very compelling, the idea to be able to charge your home.
We've overbuilt our grid and our generating capacity enormously when we look at how much energy we need in a 24-hour period. And here in Ontario, overnight, we sometimes go negative where our energy costs, we're producing more than we can use. So we've got this big disparity between these peak loads, which everything is built out for, and these real low periods overnight. And that's where electric vehicles play an important role because they charge overnight predominantly. I plug it in, I set my timer to start at 7 o'clock when the peak drops. And now I'm bringing up that, but the other thing, which is what you were talking about, is I have the ability to push that energy back into the grid when it needs it during the peak. So instead of relying on a few generating stations, Niagara Falls, Pickering, wherever it might be around the province, we generate our electricity and come online, peaker plants that come online during those times to supply that excess that can pull in and push back out. So to pull in when we've got excess, push out when we need it. And in the process of doing that, we're also creating a more resilient grid. I think the one that really everybody enjoys seeing is the lack of a big engine in front.
This is very cool. Look at the height. This is, you're bringing the groceries home. It's right here and in. I know you want to tell me that every single time I open anything or walk 3 feet, there has to be some kind of power outlet, right? So
it does, you're right. So over here are 4 20 amp outlets
look at
and
this.
USB outlets.
So I'm, you know, when I come to the job or whatever I'm doing or going camping, I've got everything I need right there.
Absolutely, and when you take your break in the job, that's they put a cooler with a drain, so you can fill that with ice and drinks. Put your lunch in there.
And just like my car did, not too many fluids, just up here for the windshield washer, right?
The windshield washer, and there's a coolant tank down here, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that normally doesn't need anything.
It's not. This is not coolant that's for the battery, right? Okay, got it. Okay, I'm loving this part. Again, I'm not much of a truck person, but this automatic lowering of, is this a standard thing in a gasoline as well, or?
Certainly, my other trucks I had didn't work nearly this fancy.
No, and you can lower this from the inside as well?
I can lower it from the inside or from the key fob.
Okay, so I mean, just every little detail.
There's so much thought that went into this. So I'm sitting here doing some work. There's my cell phone, there's my drink, here's my writing surface, here's my ruler. And when I want to get into the truck,
oh, this is for me, right?
Right, this is exactly. So there we go. I'm not doing this big hop up onto the tailgate. I've got a step to get in and out, load and unload.
Absolutely amazing.
Clamp spot here. If you need to cut a piece of conduit, put your conduit down, put a C-clamp in here to clamp down lumber or something like that. There's a lot of thought that's gone into this as a practical work vehicle.
And we got some, there's some, I guess, lights in the back here as well.
Lights all around. Most importantly, we can't walk around the truck without showing some more outlets. So another 4 NEMA 520 outlets, 120 volts,
Okay.
20
Like a
amp.
regular home outlet, yeah.
And a NEMA 1430, L1430. So this is the equivalent of a generator outlet.
Okay.
Combined on the truck is able to deliver 9,600 watts. So it's the equivalent of a large contractor generator, 9,600 watt generator.
So we're in the car now, out of the hot sun, and we can talk about the first thing that I was asking about, which is, I remember seeing something here where I could put my papers down and what have you. How's that actually
I'm
work?
going to start with my cell phone.
Start
Mark.
with-
There's a wireless charger right there, so I just drop it in as charging.
Perfect.
If I want, I can
Oh, I
close
can
it.
see it charging. Okay,
Close
great.
that and just make it look nice. And if I'm stopping to eat lunch or do some work, the shifter here, I move that out of the way. It folds down flat. And this becomes my work surface to have lunch, to put my laptop out. There's a Wi-Fi hot zone in the truck, so I've got Wi-Fi connectivity wherever I am. I've chosen to subscribe to things like wireless data. I have my Google link to this, so we've got Android Auto.
So your Android Auto,
That's
yeah.
linked to my phone and my podcasts.
So the Android Auto is standard in the vehicle.
That's standard, as is Apple CarPlay. I can also speak to the car through the Ford, so I can ask the car by addressing it as Ford.
But why don't you take us, where's the nearest Home Depot?
Okay, yeah. Okay, Ford. Take me to Home Depot.
Which item would you like?
2.
Starting route to Home Depot.
Right, what would a truck be that couldn't take you to Home Depot, right? That's fantastic.
When you look at the layout, the top half is the main thing you're looking at. These tiles are the latest things you used, so it automatically just populates tiles, and I can very quickly go back to my Android Auto or go back to my nav or whatever, my radio. If I'd used the radio, that would be a tile there. And then the bottom part is the climate control. So it's laid out sort of as 3. It becomes very intuitive very quickly. If I want to do a deeper dive on this, there are 2 buttons up here. One, I have my face in the middle, and those are the shortcuts to all the different things it does, the radio and the phone and what have you. And then I've got the picture of the truck, which is where I have my controls and settings. So where I can tell it what kind of vehicle I'm towing. I can use the onboard scales. if I've got a load in the back, it will tell me what my load is and make sure I'm not.
This is amazing.
Make sure I'm not overloaded.
Smart hitch? What's this?
I can use the smart hitch and the towing. It uses the rear view camera and reflective stickers you put on your different trailers. You tell it which trailer you have connected, and then you use the Pro Trailer Control if you're not comfortable backing up a trailer, if that's not something you do a lot. You use this to steer it in the direction you want it to go rather than steer in the opposite direction.
Got it.
And it comes with a brake controller as well. So if you have a trailer that is above the limit where you need electric brakes in the trailer, the controller's built in where I can just adjust the power of the brakes from here. And of course they come on automatically as the truck's slowing down. There's lots of great features. The lighting around the truck, you saw the light bar when we were outside.
Yeah.
There's lights on the side of the mirror. There's lights on the back of the running boards. And there's a lighting zone I can turn on here. I can light up around the truck if I'm at a job site and I need lighting over there, I'm working on something, I can use the truck to cast light in that direction and light up either a campsite or a job site. There's so many things that we could get into. We could spend all day here looking at all the things that they thought about in this vehicle. So Ford has done Blue Cruise, GM has done Super Cruise. There's a lot of different technologies that are sort of a lane keep autopilot sort of technology. Ford has used cameras, so we'll see this later on. They have a small camera here, they have a small camera there, and in fact in your video you might in fact see the infrared lights that are there. They might show up as little glowing red lights. You and I can't see it, but the viewers might see it in the video.
Okay, well, why don't I put my seatbelt on and we'll
all right,
we'll do something.
You see it says hands-free, and right now the cameras are looking at my eyes, and as long as I pay attention to the road, it will drive, it will follow the road, it will follow the car ahead of us. I have my cruise control set at the speed limit right now. The car ahead of us is doing 90. If he speeds up or slows down, it's gonna follow him. And it does just about everything. It won't take an off-ramp. It won't change lanes on me, so I still have to signal.
So when you signal and you change lanes, do you have to put it back into cruise, or will it stay in?
No, it will stay. It will come back on. And there it goes, hands-free. As soon as I'm in the lane,
okay,
settled in the lane, and it will let me know right away if there's any reason that it feels unsafe driving. But if it was confused at all, it would beep at me and immediately say you need to take over. And that's why the cameras watch my eyes to make sure I am paying attention to the road and I am ready to take over if I have to. I'm going to look down at the instrument cluster right now. Head's still looking forward. It says watch the road. If I didn't notice that, it beeps at me. I'll look up, and it knows I looked up. And we're back.
Amazing.
So if I turn my head to you, if I even turn my eyes to you for too long,
that is something else.
It knows I'm not paying attention.
In this car and in a lot of cars, the regen is pretty much so good that you almost have no reason to touch the brake pedal. Well, it works perfectly well, and if you need an emergency, it's fine.
Watch this gauge here, Daniel. As I take my foot off the accelerator, I'm not touching the brake. The energy's going back in the battery, and then watch what it says. 100% energy returned. So all that energy that would have been lost to braking went back into the battery, and I didn't have to touch the brake.
Here we have this big truck with all these receptacles, and we thought maybe it would be interesting to demo something, because the truck actually comes with a little adapter that'll actually allow you to charge a car. So we grabbed the Nissan Leaf. Here's the charger that comes with the Leaf. Here's the, right? And this is the adapter that comes with the truck. You didn't have to buy this, right?
That's right. Stick it in here.
Okay.
Another car.
We're plugged in.
That's it. And we're charging the Leaf from the Ford.
Okay, so we've enabled the receptacle in the back. You have to enable it through the dashboard, and it's showing 1080 watts here and 1080 watts of the output of the 3600. That's the car accepting the charge out in the back. And if we look at the charger, we'll see the lights are on the charger. And if we looked at the car, we'll see that the car's working. So here you are, sort of like a, I don't know, tow truck pulling up and giving you a little extra juice to get where you need to go. They keep saying, this is the future, this is the future. The futures are electric cars. I've been hearing this now forever. Well, the future, little by little, is coming along. here we have the Lightning charging our Nissan Leaf, and everything just sort of coming together. Something very cool that we've never seen before. I'm so excited. So I just want to thank you so much for taking really a lot of time with me here. And I appreciate this, and I appreciate our connection with the EV Society and my connection with you. Let's tell a little bit more about the EV Society, how we're going to contact the EV Society, and a bit of how people can get connected.
Sure. And first of all, Mark, thank you for doing this. You've been doing these videos, you've been doing this educational piece yourself and through Signature Electric for so many years. And it's so important, and it really is the core of what we do with the EV Society as well. We're not for profit, as you know, you're on the board of directors. Right. And we have members across Canada. We have about 3,000 members right now in 2022. And we're organized into chapters across the country, about 30 chapters. Mm-hmm. And I think our strength in doing outreach and educating the public the way you do is just from our perspective as owners, not trying to sell anything to anybody, just sharing our experience of what works with electric vehicles, and having that collaboration across the country where we talk to each other, we share what we're doing amongst owners so that we can better educate the public. And then we are regional chapters. So when we're doing outreach in St. John's, Newfoundland, or we're doing outreach in Victoria, BC, we understand that area. We're talking to our neighbors, we're talking to our co-workers, we're talking about what works with electric vehicles, and that's what EV Society is all about. So for more information, yes, you visit evsociety.ca, and if you haven't already, please join.
Great. And in the meantime, if you do want to see more stuff like this, signatureelectric.ca, or even give us a shout. We're here in Toronto, 416-490-8093. We'll add this to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/signatureelectric. Everybody enjoy the balance of the summer, and this will be the way to be camping soon, right? All your power and everything you need. I know exciting stuff is coming now that we have this much power in the back of the unit. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Thanks, Will.